My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather signed the Declaration of Independence. His name was William Floyd, and he was a Long Island man. I always knew he was tied to the Suffolk County militia, but to be honest, I never really knew much about the place itself. I was born in upstate New York, and I've been there a few times, but I figure now's a good time to crack the books, as it were, and see what it's all about. It's a place in New York that's surrounded by water on three sides, with the Long Island Sound to the north, Block Island Sound to the east, and Atlantic Ocean to the south. There's plenty of history here that's worth sharing, and I'm going to do my best to sum it all up. What is now Suffolk County was once a shallow ocean floor, building layers of sand, clay, and gravel atop ancient bedrock. Later, glaciers advanced across the region, scraping the land and carrying debris. When the ice melted, it left behind ridges of sand and boulders called moraines, forming the spine of Long Island. As things warmed up, Paleo-Indian hunters settled the landscape. Later, Algonquin-speaking tribes, such as the Montaukett and Shinnecock, established villages and cultivated crops. They carved wampum from shells, which became an important currency among natives and later colonists. European explorer Giovanni de Verrazzano sailed past the area in 1524, and a century later, Henry Hudson explored its waters. A Dutchman named Adrian Block mapped the coastline in 1614, noting spots like Fisher's Island and Montauk Point. By the mid-1600s, Europeans began establishing permanent settlements across the Suffolk County region. The colonial story of this area is unusual compared to other parts of New York. From the east came English settlers from New England towns, and from the west came Dutch influences spreading outward from Manhattan Island. As these influences met, Suffolk took on a character unlike any other. In 1639, Lyon Gardner was granted an island, and within a year, Southold and Southampton took root as early towns. Other settlements followed, such as East Hampton, Shelter Island, and Setauket. Life was rough for early pioneers. They built homes, grew crops, and tried to stay safe from attacks, while also surviving sometimes harsh weather. Meanwhile, native communities in the region were facing disease and land loss, although some held on to their ancestral places. Smithtown was established on land originally gifted by Chief Wyandanch, and Brookhaven expanded in the surrounding area. After the British took over from the Dutch in 1664, these towns became part of the province of New York. A county system soon followed, with Suffolk created in 1683 as one of the 12 originals. It took its name from Suffolk County over in England, a place whose Old English meaning was Southern folk. Soon, routes like the King's Highway helped shape local settlements, such as Hauppauge. Riverhead became the county seat in the 1720s, and then, in 1734, a baby boy named William Floyd was born in Mastic, a small settlement on the coast. He belonged to a prominent Anglo-Welsh family with ties to shore whaling. By age 18, he inherited the family estate, and eventually he would marry a woman from Southampton and step into the public arena, joining the New York Provincial Assembly in 1769. By that point, a growing postal route connected communities across Suffolk, and Sag Harbor was developing into one of the region's leading whaling centers. In 1774, Suffolk County elected William Floyd as a delegate to the First Continental Congress, where he supported resistance to British laws. He then became colonel of the local militia and eventually a general, leading volunteers in the growing rebel force. Floyd continued his service in the Continental Congress and would sign the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Soon after that, a major attack by the British, known as the Battle of Long Island, forced Floyd and his family to flee from Suffolk, and ultimately his wife would die during the war. During this time, throughout Suffolk County, British occupation included raids and skirmishes like the Battle of Sag Harbor, and the Culper spy ring operated in Setauket, with spies such as Anna Strong helping to pass information. Following the war, Suffolk County remained predominantly rural, with farmland, fishing villages, and shipyards shaping its economy. Early Greenport grew as a fishing and shipbuilding village, Port Jefferson developed as a thriving maritime hub, and the first lighthouse in New York State, the Montauk Point Lighthouse, guided ships safely at the island's eastern tip. By 1844, the Long Island Railroad was constructed through Suffolk County, linking settlements to New York City, and also complementing steamboat routes along the coast. In the latter half of the 1800s, you got Patchogue growing as a center for mills and lumber, and at the same time, Central Islip opened one of the largest psychiatric hospitals in 1889. 10 years later, Suffolk's modern western border was established, with Nassau County splitting off from the three eastern towns of Queens County. By the early 1900s, wealthy visitors were pushing summer estates and hotels in places like the Hamptons, North Shore, and Fire Island. Alongside tourism, industry and technology also began to grow. With Penn Station linking Suffolk to Manhattan, things only accelerated. Immigrants arrived, parks were being developed by Robert Moses, and the Great Depression, not to mention industries of the 1930s, reshaped local life. During World War II, the county became a hub for military installations, and post-war population growth boomed. The Brookhaven National Laboratory opened in 1947, joining the Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory in advancing scientific research. In the 1950s and 60s, new roads, shopping centers, and schools in Stony Brook and Farmingdale supported rising suburbs, essentially replacing farmland with residential neighborhoods. Tourism continued to grow, and defense companies like Grumman employed thousands. Simultaneously, vineyards across the North Fork of Suffolk County were gaining recognition. By the 90s, the county largely shifted towards technology and environmental preservation. The 9/11 attacks deeply affected Suffolk, as many residents were commuters to Manhattan. Later, Hurricane Sandy in 2012 battered the Southern Fork and nearby coastal areas. Despite this, today Suffolk is strong, with historic settlements and scenic areas remaining central to life in the county. Over in Mastic, William Floyd's estate is well preserved, and I even had the chance to visit it a few years back. Everyone there was great, and I highly recommend checking it out if you have the chance. And by the way, I never finished telling William Floyd's story. After the Revolution, he remarried, held some prominent positions in early U.S. politics, but eventually moved to upstate New York, where his great-great-great-great-great-grandson was born 2 centuries later. Have a good one.